Now, hear me out. I feel like this is going to be a weird video. It's going to be a weird reaction. So I'm just going to kind of go for it here. The Sens win 7-1 tonight. Now, I don't know how to feel about this because we have seen the Sens win big like this in the season. A couple times, actually. I know this is going to sound horrible. I know it's going to sound negative, but just I don't want to get too excited about this win because at the end of the day, it is just one game. It's a big win, so I know you're probably watching this video and you're going like, well, why are you not happy about this? Your team just won 7-1. You're not happy? Yeah, obviously I am happy they won, but um, again, just it's one game, and I don't want to get my hopes up yet, but this was shocking. Like I don't know if I'm more shocked or happy or confused. It's weird. I don't know how to describe it. I don't know how to feel right now. But anyways, we'll go to the notes here. So game 52 of the season was played on Sunday, January 25th against the Vegas Golden Knights. It was a 5 p.m. Eastern start time. So this is part of the reason why I'm so shocked because they just played less than 24 hours ago against Carolina and they lost 4-1 and they looked horrible. So I thought this was going to be a rough night again for the Sens, but it wasn't. So this was the second meeting of the season between these two teams. Um, the Sens, they actually do sweep the season series from Vegas because they also won 4-3 back on November 26th in Vegas in a shootout. So they go 2-0 against Vegas this season. So there you go. Starting goaltenders. Listen to this. Mads Søgaard for the Sens and Aiden Hill for the Knights. Linus Ullmark was the backup tonight. That was also shocking. I did not expect Søgaard to start tonight. I was like, oh, okay. Um, so the Sens were 23, 21, and 7 coming into tonight, and the Golden Knights were 25, 13, and 12. A lot of overtime losses there, and they were 8 and 2 in their last 10 coming into tonight. So yeah, it's just it's weird. I know this is such a weird video to record because I kind of tuned out a little bit after the second period. I was busy with some other stuff, so the game was 4-0 when I stopped watching. But in the back of my mind, I'm thinking like, oh, they're probably gonna blow it, cause like, can you blame me, right? Like this team has been blowing leads left, right, and center for the past couple weeks, so can you blame me? um, but yeah, like this, it's a big win, 7-1 against a division leader. But again, at the end of the day, it is just one game. They need to continue this momentum and they need to make something out of this. So this is a good start. And again, maybe I should be more excited. I don't know, but I just don't want to get my hopes up too much because, again, this team has had blowout wins like this earlier in the season. And look where we are now. But nonetheless, this is a big win. And I'm kind of shocked, not gonna lie. Alright, so let's go ahead and get into the stats for tonight's game. So the Sens win by a score of 7-1 against the Vegas Golden Knights, and they are now, the Sens that is, they are 24, 21, and 7. Vegas is now 25, 14, and 12. So look at the shots. I mean, 31-20. Again, keeping the shot count low, and Søgaard, he made some big saves. Like, there were a few shots tonight where I looked at him, a few saves he made, I should say, and I was like, wow, that didn't go in. It's like, we were getting saves tonight. It's like, I don't know, I feel like I'm more surprised than anything else. That's just me, though. Face-off percentage, the Sens, rare off night here, 45.1% compared to 54.9% for Vegas. Power plays, nobody scores on the power play. Vegas is 0 for 2, the Sens are 0 for 1. 2 penalty minutes for the Golden Knights and 4 for the Sens. Not a lot of penalties tonight. Hits 34-20 in favor of the Sens. Block shots were 19-16 in favor of the Sens. 14 giveaways for Vegas and 10 for the Sens. and the takeaways were apparently 10-3 in favor of Vegas. That's a bit of a shocking one there. And as mentioned, this was the final meeting of the season between these two teams, so they will not meet each other again until probably next season, not the Stanley Cup Finals. Anyways, yeah, we'll get into the notes here. So, I don't really have any notes for the third period because, again, I was kind of tuned out. We love the random cuts. I had something in my eye, so I got that taken care of. But, anyways, as I was saying, I don't really have any notes for the third period at all because I had the game on. It was kind of in the background, but I was busy doing other stuff, so I don't really have much of an opinion on what happened in the third period. But I do have notes for the first and second. So, starting off the game here, right away, Marner gets a penalty shot. This is how we start the game. So I'm like, okay, well, this is kind of new, right? I mean, the Sens haven't been giving up penalty shots, so I'm like, okay, this is new. But Marner on the penalty shot, I don't really know what he was doing on this penalty shot, to be honest. He just made way too many moves, and he actually doesn't even end up getting a shot. He missed the net. By the time he shot the puck, he was like almost on the goal line, so doesn't even get a shot out of it. So I'm like, okay, that was what just happened there. So the Sens are playing very physically early on, and this is good. This is what you want to see. And they are controlling a majority of the play. So Hill would make a big stop on a Tkachuk one-timer. Good save there. The puck would bounce off a skater and it would hit the post for the Vegas net. So the puck would go in after this play, but it didn't count. The puck went in after the whistle, and even if it did go in, I don't think it would have counted anyways because there was probably like goalie interference or something. So I'm like, just another bad break for the Sens. Dylan Cousins would have a shot that went off the post. So I'm like, okay, more bad luck. But then Zetterlund would score from behind the net. I'm like, okay. Like, this is gonna sound so bad, I know, but the first goal of the game scored by Zetterlund came at the 9:25 mark from Halliday, and the Sens go up 1-0. But like, I know this is gonna sound awful, but like, I wasn't that happy when that went in. Like, even the game overall, like they win 7-1. I'm really not that excited about it, and I know it sounds horrible probably, but can you blame me after what this team has done, right? Because, again, at the end of the day, this is just one game. They need to continue this and make something out of it. Then I'll get more excited. I'm not going to allow myself to get excited over one game. But this was a solid effort. So, yeah, like he scores from behind the net, and I'm just like, what the heck? They got a lucky bounce finally. We're not used to seeing this. So we are halfway through the first period. The shots are 5-1 in favor of the Sens, so they're playing great. The game continues to be pretty physical. The first period, really the whole game, was pretty physical overall. Some really big hits thrown tonight by both teams. Stützle would have a chance all alone. He waited way too long here, and he doesn't even end up getting a shot out of this play, but still a good chance there. So this is where I'm just like, okay, here we go again. So Greg would take a really careless penalty. He picked up the puck and he threw it. You can't do that. So he gets a penalty for that. And then while the Sens were shorthanded, the Sens would take a too many men penalty. So Vegas gets a 5-on-3. But I like what Eichel did on this play. He intentionally shoots the puck towards Chabot. So it touches Chabot, and that created the too many men penalty. So Vegas gets a 5-on-3. So we do end the first period. The Sens are up 1-0. The shots are 5-5. Fairly low event, I would say. But there were some big hits as well, just pretty much all night. It was a pretty physical game. So we do move on to the second period here. So Vegas starts the second period with a 5-on-3 for 23 seconds, and the Sens kill it off. Also, I need to correct myself on something I said in the last video, and I feel stupid for saying it. I said that Mike Yeo took over for Nolan Baumgartner for the goaltending. I stand corrected. I that he took over for the penalty kill, not goaltending. I don't know why I said that. Want to make sure I correct myself here, but yeah, I know not too many people watch these videos anyways, so that's good. um, yeah, just when I didn't even realize that till after after the video was uploaded. I'm like, okay, shoot, yeah, I actually said that. But anyways, so yeah, so the Sens would kill that off, and Vegas, they're kind of controlling the play here at the start of the period. So the Sens, this is bizarre. We are living in bizarre world right now because the Sens at one point in time went 17 minutes without a shot on goal. It's pretty bad, right? It's almost a full period, but it gets weird. It gets really, really weird. Listen to this. Um, they get their first shot in 17 minutes approximately, and it goes in. It goes in. So the second Sens goal was scored by Dylan Cousins, his 16th of the season, at the 5:51 mark from Greg and Kachuk, and the Sens go up 2-0. Don't know if I mentioned it, but the first goal by Zetterlund was his 12th of the season. So yeah, and this gets even weirder. So the Sens get a shot 16 seconds later, and they score. What? Like, you legit never know what you'll get with this team. And I just, I didn't know how to react. Again, this is like, I'm more shocked than anything else. This is what happens when I'm surprised, I guess. So, yeah, the team goes 17 minutes without a shot on goal. They get two shots in the span of 16 seconds, and they both go in. Okay, I guess. So Spence scores at the 6:07 mark, his fourth of the season, from Clevin and Kachuk, and the Sens are up 3-0. But it gets even more weird, believe it or not. So the Sens would go a while without a shot again. Um, they would. Oh, wait a minute. Hang on. I'm getting ahead of myself here. So, um, okay, back it up a little bit. I'm getting ahead of myself. Too many goals tonight. So the first goal, they scored the first goal, and then the second goal was their next shot after the first goal. And then the shot after that, what I'm trying to say is they scored on 3 shots in a row. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. So they get a shot, they score, and then they don't get another shot for like another 17 minutes, and they score again, and then they score again on their next shot. It's like, what the heck what is happening? What? So, yeah, they score on 3 shots in a row. I'm like, so this is real life. This is actually happening. But again, I didn't want to get too excited, and I'm still not because it's just one game. But this is very refreshing if you're a Sens fan. And I put in my notes, I don't get it. I don't know what's happening. I don't know. I just don't know. So, Stutzla would have a wide open net not long after the third goal, but this was blocked, but the net was wide open. Um, Now in my notes, I know it's gonna sound bad, but I do like to put what I'm thinking in that moment sometimes. So I put, I'm just waiting for the collapse. The collapse did not happen tonight. So this is where I started to kind of tune out a little bit because I was busy with some other stuff. So I don't really, I have no notes at all. So Halliday would score on a one-timer. I did see this goal. So Halliday would score his second of the season at the 17:50 mark from Shabbat and Stutzla. This would make it 4-0. And yeah, so the Sens go into the second intermission with a 4-0 lead. So the shots in the second period were 12-8 somehow for the Sens, which is hard to believe considering they went 17 minutes without a shot on goal, but we'll take it. So we roll on to the third period, and at this point I had the game, it was on in the background, but it was muted, so I wasn't really watching it. I kind of saw the goals, but not really. So Dylan Cousins would score a minute 22 in from Kachuk. That's Cousins' 17th of the season, and the Sens go up 5-0. And then, what is this? 43 seconds later, the Sens would score again. So it's like, okay, I guess if I don't watch, they play better. So this is how it's going to work. So Halliday would score his second of the game, third of the season from Clevin, and it's 6-0 Sens. And then, a minute 51 later, the Sens score again. So Jensen scores his fourth of the season from Shabbat and Pinto, and it is 7-0 Sens. I'm like, what? Like, again, the game is on in the background, so I'm just like, I'm kind of looking up every once in a while. I'm like, this is how I was reacting, kind of. I'm like I don't know what happened tonight. I really don't know what happened tonight. um, it's 7-0 Sens. Hello? And this was kind of annoying. So Anderson would end up scoring late in the third period, 15:05 in. I believe that's his first goal with Vegas. Hurdle draws the assist there. That does break the shutout bid for Sogard, which is kind of unfortunate, but yeah, this is weird. I don't know how to feel right now because like we'll go through the 3 stars and we will go through the stats. There's a lot to read off tonight. So, stars of the game. Where are the stars of the game? Here they are. Okay, so first star of the game was Mads Sogard with a 950 save percentage. Yeah, this was Sogard's first start of the season, and they put him in against Vegas. The division leading, I believe they lead the division, right? Let me just confirm that real quick. Yeah, they do lead the division, so this is not an easy opponent. And yeah, just I wish I had an answer, but I don't know. Anyways, Sogard was the first star. Second star was Halliday. He had 2 goals and 1 assist. He came into this game with 1 goal. He now has 3, so that's good to see for Halliday. And the third star of the game was Dylan Cousins. He had 2 goals. So, yeah, we have a lot of stuff to read off for the box score tonight. So for the forwards, Kachuk had 3 assists, and he wasn't even one of the stars, so what does that tell you? Halliday with 2 goals and an assist, Dylan Cousins with 2 goals, Pinto with an assist, Stützle with an assist, Greg with an assist, and Zetterlund had a goal. And plus minus, nobody was a minus. So Dylan Cousins, Greg, and Halliday were all +3. Kachuk, Zetterlund, and Eller were +2. And Stützle, Nick Cousins, and Giroux were all +1. Ice time leader for forwards, it's very, very evenly spread out tonight. Wow. Pinto led the way with 1739. And most shots for forwards was Dylan Cousins with 4. He had 2 goals, of course. And blocks. A lot of players had 1 block. So Kachuk, Stützle, Batherson, Zetterlund, Gregg, Halliday, and Eller all had 1 block. And Kachuk had the most hits with 5. So moving on to the defense stats now. Let's see here. Clevin and Shabbat each had 2 assists, and Jensen and Spence had a goal each. And every defense was, they were all plus tonight. So Jensen and Shabbat were +3, Spence and Clevin were +2, Zub and Sanderson were +1. And time on ice leader was Shabbat, played 22:55. Sanderson only played 20:21. Maybe they were giving him a bit of a break tonight, which I can understand because of the score. Leading defense in shots was Shabbat with 3. And Shabbat also led the defense in blocks with 4. And Clevin had the most hits with 4. And yeah, as mentioned, Sogard, he stops 19 out of 20 for a 950 save percentage. And I don't know. Like, the best possible thing that I can say about this game is when your team wins 7-1, obviously you're happy, right? Why wouldn't you be? but at the same time, it's just one game. The Sens, I'm looking at the standings right now. They are still quite a ways out of it. They're still 7 points out. Now, I I'm gonna try to be positive here, just for a minute, okay? If they can string something together, and especially if they can get some points and some wins, heading into the Olympic break, the Sens have 5 games left before the Olympic break. I think it's five, right? Pretty sure it's five. I might be wrong about that, but um, if they can start getting something together and go into the Olympic break feeling good about their game, and they come back after the Olympic break, then maybe I'm trying to be positive here, and I can't believe I'm saying that because I was pretty down in the dumps after last night's video. So, um, yeah. So this is a huge win. Very unexpected. I'm stunned. I am genuinely stunned because this is not a weak opponent. This is Vegas. They lead their division, and also another stat here. This is tied for the biggest loss in franchise history for Vegas. Apparently, that's what they said on TSN. So I was like, what? Fun little stat there, but yeah, this is a big win. And again, maybe it's just a me thing. I don't know. Maybe I should be more excited about this, but it is just one game, big win, and it's just refreshing to see, their chances. It's refreshing to see them bury their chances, and it is way more refreshing to see good goaltending. Not good goaltending, it was great goaltending tonight. And you can't really blame Sogar too much on the Anderson goal. Like, he kind of walked in and he was all alone and he couldn't really do much on that goal anyway. So, yeah, the Sens win by a score of 7-1, and they are going to hopefully take this momentum into their next game, who is against Colorado. Wednesday, January 28th, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I do plan to do a watch party for this game, so that could be interesting. Um, yeah, if they can somehow pull a win out against Colorado, they've been struggling a little bit lately. They're starting to look a little bit more human, so maybe. And just I can't believe I'm even giving an ounce of positivity right now because like I felt just so bad about this team last night. So I'm trying to be a little bit positive here. Big win, and they gotta make something out of this, right? So gotta keep her going. But this is a big win for the Sens, and yeah, they'll be back at it again on Wednesday against Colorado. And again, there will be a watch party for this one. So yes, the stream will be starting at 7:30 p.m. So maybe I'll see some of you there. But anyways, I'm going to wrap it up here, guys. Thank you all so much for watching, and go Sens go.